everybody. We are going to talk a little bit about our learning space. First thing I want to mention is I do teach a lot of 222 courses, so if your numbers don't match up here, like W04, that's okay. All of the courses are set up essentially the same way, but if you have any questions because maybe something looks a little bit different in your Moodle space, let me know and we'll talk through it. But largely all of the main key components should be just about the same. Alright, this is our Moodle space. This is where we do the core of our interaction and communications, activities, all that cool stuff. And there's a couple different things to look at. If you're familiar with Moodle, awesome. This will be a little bit of a review, but if you're new to it, any questions you have, just let me know and I'll be happy to clarify. Over here, under activities, we have direct links to our assignments, forums, quizzes, resources, all that good stuff. On the right here, we've got kind of upcoming events. And again, your screen might look just a little bit differently. If you want to set it up exactly the same as I have it, I'd be happy to walk you through how to do that. The main center section is what we're really going to focus on first. But before we do that, I want to show you over here, we have our grades. This is something that most students are a little bit interested in. To access your grades, you want to click on Grades. And it will open up your user report, as what we call it. And it's essentially your grade book. And of course, we don't have any grades yet because class hasn't officially started yet when I'm showing you this. And as assignments open, they will open up underneath the different headings. We've got discussion boards, all of our different assignments. You can always click on the link to kind of review what you submitted, and it'll put in your point value. If you ever have any questions on your grades, please do not hesitate to connect with me. I am amazing at my job. I'm also very humble. If you see something that doesn't look right, though, I'm not infallible. I do make mistakes sometimes. So maybe I keyed in the wrong number. Maybe I got my lines crossed and I'm not lining up my grades appropriately. Any question at all with your grade book. I know how important it is to you guys for it to be accurate. Let me know and I'll be happy to go in and take a double check and make sure that everything is squared away and give you some insight to that question that you have. To get back to the main area of our space, you just click back on the link and it'll take you right back there. I do try to update the gradebook weekly. Occasionally there might be a little bit of a delay, but I'm not one of those professors that waits until the last minute. Always frustrated me as a student, so I do try to keep your gradebook updated as quickly as I can. Underneath our amazing Futurama referenced heading, we have a couple important discussion forums for you. We've got general questions and whatnot, and we also have extra credit questions. I typically don't like to use our formal learning spaces for extra credit questions, so if you ever have any questions on our extra credit, click on here and it will open up and you'll be able to add a new discussion topic, or you can always just reply to what I've got for you here as well. Give you a little bit of insight to what I'm doing, why I give you guys so many extra credit opportunities, and also you can click reply right here to actually post your question right here. And give it a second, put in a subject, type it in. You can add attachments, but typically that's not something that we're going to do, and then you just click post to forum and it will go right to our discussion forum on extra credit. Yay, we got this, it's going to be great. To get back to where we were, because we don't have any questions just yet, but when you do, we can use this. We want to also post any general questions we have under the general questions and whatnot forum. You can add a new posting here, or you can reply to the do you have a question prompts. We got some dramatic thinking and we can post it here. This is sort of a new forum that I am doing, so if you have any issues with replying or anything like that, let me know right away so I can kind of tweak it. But this is a good place for you to have any questions that you think that the class as a whole would have value from. Maybe you want some assignment clarification, maybe when we're talking about discourse communities you got a question. Any course related question that you have, feel free to post on here, because if you have a question about it, likely somebody else in class has it too, so we're just really fostering that group learning by posting them here. I do ask that if you have any grade specific questions to go ahead and email me those, because we don't necessarily want to share those kind of personal discussions with class. We'll go back to our main screen. We have a couple other things here before we actually dive into class. Semester resources. These are kind of those important pieces of information that we need to have. We've got class stuff, if we click on that folder, which hopefully you guys already have. We've got the syllabus, where you can and how you can contact me with the instructor locator form, the summary of that big final paper, and the roadmap on how we're going to get there. We also have some documentation style cheat sheets here for when we start actually doing our document formatting research and that kind of stuff. These are not all of the documentation styles that we have to use, but we will talk about that more, and I will add and take off this list as it's pertinent to what we are doing in class. Make sure out of all this stuff that you do review the syllabus. I got a kind of long, it's 36 minutes video where we talk through the syllabus, and I know it's long, but I do encourage you to watch through it because I answer a lot of really important questions there, or review the syllabus on your own time and ask me any questions that you have for that. And we do have a forum here, doc style forums. I keep pointing because my computer is touchscreen. And this is like any questions that you have for doc style or formatting. Say that you're going to be asked to be writing in APA. You're not sure what APA is? Post it here because I'm sure the other APAers will have questions as well. So those are kind of our general discussion forum questions that I encourage that we use throughout the course. For those non-personal specific questions like grading, but good questions that everybody else can have some value from. So that's the big top part of our learning space. If we scroll down and we start to actually get to the weeks, because I am mildly obsessed with television, I name all of our weeks episode because it's more interesting to me. And I will typically keep 3 episodes, 3 weeks open as we go, and kind of shut down the other ones as we move forward, as they are no longer necessarily relevant to what we're doing. There are a couple key components that we're going to have available every week. We'll have the title here, the date range. Remember that our classes run from Monday until Sunday, a little bit of what we'll be doing in terms of class activities, and as well as reviewing what our kind of to-do list. And let me reiterate that for our online classes, our classes run from Monday until Sunday. That date range might be a little bit different for those of us that talk in person. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. But for all of us, our class ends on Sunday. And we'll talk about that as we go forward. Underneath our sort of to-do list, which I kind of color code, but it doesn't necessarily relate to anything. I'll remind you guys what you need to review, what you need to submit, like lecture questions or discussion forums, and also what paper assignment you have to submit as well. For example, first week, we got to do that personal analysis 1. Underneath this, we have our lecture and discussion notes, and we do this both for our online classes and our in-class as well. All of our important information is going to be in here, all of our lecture notes, the stuff that we need to learn about in here. And there's a couple different ways to navigate through this. You can scroll down, read what I'm telling you. And over to the right, you'll see that there's some little arrows that you can click on to go right or left. And that's going to kind of take you through all of our important information. And as you see, we can just click through, and it'll take us through our lecture notes. And again, I kind of encourage you to review these every week. It's going to cover all of those important things that we need to talk about. And again, this is just an example of what our lecture notes will look like. On the left, we do have the option to do table of contents. So after you review it, you kind of click back through. Maybe you're not sure what we meant by the roadmap. You can go back and click specifically to review that page. An important thing I include in each episode's lecture notes is our assignments. We will have assignment clarifications, specific details on assignments that are due, what day they're due, and if it's kind of a bigger paper, I'll also have a breakdown explaining what those are. So that's sort of our lecture notes discussion areas. If we're meeting in class, it's going to kind of mirror a little bit what we're doing in class as well. To get back to our main page, then we have our assignment section. So each week we're going to have our review area of what we're doing that week, and then we have our lecture and discussion kind of book is what they call it, kind of the lecture area. Then if we have any discussion boards, we do have an introduction. It's not required, but let's get to know each other a little bit. And again, you can click on it, add a new discussion topic, say, hey, this is Rowan, tell us a little bit about you, or whatever the discussion board requirement is for that week. Underneath any discussion boards that we will have our actual assignments. For this one, for example, it's going to be a personal analysis essay. To actually submit that, you would click on personal analysis essay. It's not open in this example, but it'll give you the information on how many attempts you've done, when it's due, how long you have until it's due, and then right in this area below submission comments, you'll be able to actually click submit, upload this assignment, and hit submit, and then I will be able to see it. If you would like to see how that works live, let me know and I'll be happy to kind of walk you through it. Underneath any paper assignments we have if there's lecture questions or any quizzes that we have, you can click on that. Again, it's not going to be open yet, but here you'll be able to click on it and kind of go through the lecture questions. You guys thought I was going to give you lecture question answers, didn't you? Not yet. Again, all the questions in the lecture questions will be explained and explored in the lecture. It's funny how that kind of works like that, huh? I will never ask you any questions not related directly to what we're talking about, unless it's super obvious, like maybe what television show I'm a little obsessed with. Underneath any lecture questions we will have our resources folder, and this is an important one. Resources for each episode will include any assignment requirements, any supplemental information that I think is going to be valuable to you to be able to complete those assignments. For example, I'm expecting you guys to write an MLA until we determine what our formatting is. So I'll have an MLA overview sheet. I'll have the actual assignment sheet, what you're supposed to be doing for this assignment, and then again any supplemental information that I think is going to be relevant to helping you complete that. To see these, you want to click on one and say, yeah, I want to download it. It'll download, and then you can open it up. And it'll open up in a new window, and then it'll be the actual assignment sheet. And in these assignment sheets, I tell you specifically what it is that we're trying to do with this assignment, give you the points possible, all that good stuff, and then give you the specific details on how many pages it needs to be, what size font, what I'm expecting you to write as. Like for this example, you can use first person. I'll tell you if I don't want you using first person, that kind of stuff. If this is a multi-part assignment, I will tell you under other components, and then I tell you exactly what I will be grading you on and how much it is worth. And then I always try to have the due date in the bottom in blue as well. Okay. Alright, and then again, if you ever have any questions on any of this stuff, post it in the general discussion forums or email me, chat with me, text me, whatever we can do to get those questions answered. Alright, and then that is essentially our learning space. It might be a little bit new to you, so if you have any questions, let me know, but this is where we're going to do the bulk of our work. And again, I try to have them opened before Sunday, by Sunday, each week, and I do keep them open 3 weeks at a time. Again, if you have any questions at all, let me know, and we will work together to support your success. And you guys always remember, you totally got this. It's going to be a great semester.